kitchen. Today I am doing leftovers. We had ham for Christmas and I have a nice bone and I need to do something with it. So I thought I'd make some split pea soup. It's kind of very cold today. It's a beautiful, the sun is out, it's beautiful, but it's a chilly. So I'm gonna make some split pea soup. And I'm gonna show you how I make my split pea soup. I love split pea soup, and we have a restaurant about 10 miles away from us that they make the best, but now with all this holidays, everything is closed. So I'm gonna put about in my pot 2 tablespoons of bacon fat. Like some of you, if you know, I always save the fat from cooking bacon, and I use the fat in my recipes. It gives a really nice flavor, and I do that. So let me show you what I have. I have a pound of split pea. I washed them and drained them. I have 1 onion, 1 whole onion, some about 10 to 12 cloves of garlic chopped, and some thyme, some bay leaf, some chicken broth, the bone from the ham, and then I have some leftover. I'm gonna cut it up. And in here I have 5 potatoes, 3 carrots diced, and then about 4 or 5 stalks of celery. So I'm gonna saute this. You know, when it comes to holidays, we make so much food and we don't know what to do with the leftovers. So I'm always finding ways to use leftovers, and this is one good way to. We've done ham sandwich, I've done panini sandwich. So now I figure, well, it's kind of cold. I'm gonna make a split pea soup, and it's something everybody likes it. So into the pot, I'm gonna add my onion, my garlic, and my thyme. I'm gonna just saute that for a little bit. I'm gonna put about half a teaspoon of salt so that onions start sweating. I love split pea soup, and it's so good and so healthy. And sometimes I go through my fridge and whatever, you know, I have leftovers. If it's vegetables, sometimes I have like butternut squash, I throw it in. If I have mashed potatoes, I throw it in. So I don't necessarily have, this is my basic recipe, but then I sometimes add stuff to it. But today I only have this, so, which is so good. Us growing up, my mom used to make pea soup, which is different than split pea. But it's kind of, looking back, it kind of had the same ingredients. She would not put ham, but she would put the shanks from the pig or the feet. So she would cook all that, and then she would add peas. Just we didn't have frozen peas, so it had to be fresh peas. So anyway, but I remember making it. But this one is one of my favorites. Okay, so into that I'm gonna add my potatoes, my carrots, my celery, add all that in. And this is an easy soup. I could have done this in an Instant Pot, but it goes so fast here on the stove that I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna add another half a teaspoon of salt and plenty of black pepper. Okay. I'm just Gonna let this sweat, and then when it sweats, I'll come back. I'm gonna add about a teaspoon of poultry season. I like the flavor that gives, and I'm gonna put my ham bone in there, and some bay leaf, not a lot. Bay leaf can be very strong flavor, so maybe a couple small leaves. Just really here. So 2 leaves of bay leaf. Now I'm going to stir this. Okay, and I'm going to add my split piece. And I'm going to add my chicken stock. I'm going to put 1 box of chicken stock, and then I'm going to fill it up one with water. Okay, and here's, so 1 box of chicken stock and 1 box of water. I put total of 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm not going to put no more because the ham is salty. So I don't want to over salt it. So I'm going to cover this and let this come to a boil and let that split pea cook, and then we'll go from there. Okay, my peas, they still need a little bit more to go. They've been going for about 20 minutes. But remember I told you I go through the fridge and I find anything that I can add to it. Found some sweet potatoes. So I add some whipped cream to them, mash them, and now I'm gonna add to this. And this not only is gonna thicken the pea soup, I'm gonna get rid of this, and it's gonna give a nice sweet. It's gonna enhance the sweetness of the peas. So you don't have to do that, but this is one way that I always try to incorporate leftovers. So I try not to waste anything here. I hate wasting. So I add those sweet potatoes, and not only it's going to enhance the flavor, it's going to enhance because the sweet potatoes are very healthy for us. I'm going to put a little bit more cream. I probably put total maybe about half a cup of cream. I had mixed some with the potatoes. So I'm gonna let this come to a simmer, and then whatever I had left over ham, I chopped it up, and I'm gonna add that to it. That's the end of the ham. When I have ham and I don't know what to do, I go to split pea soup. It goes. So anyway, so now I'm gonna let this simmer here for probably another 30 minutes, just until those peas are cooked through, because everything else, it's pretty much all cooked. It's just to, I also tried it for salt. I add another teaspoon. This is kosher salt. So kosher salt is different than the fine salt. It's not a salty. So I'm gonna let this here on medium to cook those peas. And then I'll come back when it's all done. Okay, my peas, they are cooked. And I'm gonna pour some in containers for my in-laws. I always, when I make some soup, I always give them some, because they cannot get out of the house, so at least they'll have some soup at night. And I'll make one for my sister-in-law that's been under the weather. So like I said, I never know how to make a small pot of soup, but I always try to share by all my family. And let me get a bowl. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna have one of these for lunch. Here is my soup. Let me show you my pot. Here's my bone. I'm gonna love chewing that bone. See, it thickens. It thickened the soup. So, you know, when you're trying to figure out what to cook, when you try to figure out what to cook, just go through your refrigerator. And sometimes it's right there. Just try to pull things together and make a soup or something else. This is so good. Those peas are all cooked, and the sweet potato, it thickened the soup, and I also did a little sweet, not too sweet, but sweet that it kind of gives a better taste to the peas. So when you don't know what to cook, make some soup. And that's what we're gonna have for dinner tonight. And I was able to get rid of the ham and the sweet potatoes and made a whole new meal. So I want to wish you all a happy new year and pray that it's a better year, that we all can be able to get out and enjoy our lives, our families, and wish you all good health and safety. And I want to thank you for subscribing to my channel. And if you haven't, please do, because that's what drives me to keep doing these videos. The more subscriptions I get, the better I can do more videos. So anyway,